I imagined them being babies, and then I imagined them at school. And I didn't think about the 5 years in between. I will do my utmost to keep their schedule. It's only just starting to sink in that this is my life now. Like, good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever day or time it is for you. Welcome back to another video. Thank you for being here. Please like this video if you like it, and subscribe. It really helps us if you enjoy what you see. And thanks for coming back if you are a regular watcher of mine. So today we are talking about twin tips and how to prepare and what to expect for multiples and all that kind of thing. I could talk about this topic for ages, and there was kind of so much that I wanted to talk about. I've listed some bullet points and some of like the main tips that I feel like I've got. And yeah, I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but there was eventually like a cut-off point. I was like, this is how it's going to be. So it's kind of random subjects, but I've done a few different things so that hopefully it will help each and every one of you watching. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to create this video in the first place is, sorry, my camera's doing some weird thing here. Well, some of you will know from when I first started this channel, I kind of ultimately wanted to just share my life with you and have it as a way of my family being able to see what the boys were like and how they were changing and everything like that from month to month, because I'm so far from home and all my family. But even though I've had so much fun sharing all that with the ups and the downs and the day-to-day life and kind of the constant routine and schedule and same day after day, ultimately I've just loved seeing comments come through from other mums in particular, and mums of multiples, about how much comfort they felt watching the videos, and sometimes how they've felt less alone seeing what I'm going through week to week and things that they've learned from my videos. So that to me has been the biggest positive that I found doing this, which is ultimately why I love YouTube. When I found out I was pregnant, the people I subscribed to and watched were all new mums, or mums that I liked their parenting styles, or mums of multiples, just seeing how their dynamic and their family was. People who are in similar situations that I could learn from and become a better mum from, or just a better human in general. So yeah, I tried to think back to how I felt in that moment that I found out I was having twins, and the next however many months afterwards until they were born, and the things that I wanted to learn and wanted to see. So that is why I'm making this video today. And yeah, I hope it's helpful for some of you, or you enjoy watching it. It's one of these sit down videos, so please go cook dinner or do the laundry or whatever you can, and just have me on in the background, because it's not going to be very thrilling. This is all we're going to look at for the next however many minutes I'm chatting. And if I keep looking down, I apologise. I've got some notes there, so that's why. It's feeling very, very fall vibes right now. I've got my pumpkins next to me. I've got my pumpkin spice coffee, and the door's open, letting the cold, crisp air in. It's quite a chilly day here in LA today. We've had rain twice this week, so things are changing over here. The sun is definitely hiding a little bit more. Anyway, let's get into this. So I'm going to try and timestamp it, because I feel like that's maybe more helpful for people that don't want to hear me blab on, and I've never done that before, so sorry if I didn't manage to do it, but I'm going to try. And then there's probably about 5 subjects. So number 1, my first tip will be find your support people. Now, this will be different for everyone. As you all know, I'm miles from home. I had no family, not really any friends when I was up in Washington. We'd literally only just moved there maybe, what, June, July, August, 4 months, 5 months before I found out I was pregnant. So I didn't really know anybody, and I was at work all week, every week. So I thought about this a lot as I was pregnant, and I did sign up for the app Peanut. If you haven't heard of it, it's an app for twin mums. It's an app for mums. You could be expecting, or you could have children that are already in their teens or their 20s, whatever. But it's an app for mums to meet other mums and share your experiences and make friends that way. And that was basically a lifesaver for me. I met a couple of girls, one girl in particular that had twins like 2 weeks before me up in Seattle. And then I was kind of in a weird vibe up there, and I think I thought I was apprehensive about how long we were going to stay there, so I didn't really bother to push myself to meet anybody else. And I will say that I found especially it hard to go out and do things in that newborn phase for the first 6 months. I mean, if you're nursing, the constant nursing sessions, and just the boys weren't that content just to like be out unless they were sleeping at that stage. So it was kind of tricky, and I wasn't really fussed to go out, to be honest. I was so tired, and like just all my energy was going to them, and I was happy with that. So I didn't really get stuck into using it until we got here. Obviously your family, if there's people that you can speak to in your family, your mum, your grandma, your sister, they're going to be the people that are going to help you the most. I think when you have children, you really want family around. And for me, we managed to get one of these Facebook portals, they're called, which is a way of calling people on through your TV, and you don't have to hold a phone or anything, so you can be mobile and move around and do things while speaking to someone. And that's been so great for me, because with the boys, trying to speak to my mum on the phone or my dad on the phone, it's just not going to happen because they want the phone. So they answer the phone and they're on the TV, and the boys can join in and be interactive, and it's been great, absolutely great. So we've used that, and I've just had my mum really to reach out to, and I've had my family there if I've ever needed advice or support at the other end of the phone, you know. And I did also sign up to get a doula when I brought the boys home. We didn't end up using her, and we didn't feel that we needed to, but I know a lot of people use night nurses or doulas, or they have some sort of extra help, and that's truly so important, because as they say, it takes a village when you've got kids. So we're building a village. We have made quite a lot of contacts here, and friends and people that would help us if we really needed. But a lot of the time I am on my own, and I'm happy with that. I'm grateful that I get to be here looking after the boys. Tip number 2 is prepare your home. I cannot stress this enough. This is something that I don't think I thought about enough, and I didn't really think about. It's so funny. I didn't really think about my life after the boys were born. I thought about those first few months, and that was pretty much it. That's all I could focus on. And maybe that's common, I don't know, but I think it's just too much to think about everything at once. So you just focus on the beginning. So prepare your home, and this will change as the months go on with baby proofing, etc. But when they're first born, my biggest tip is, if you have 2 stories, you need to have everything you have on the first story on the ground floor, because you cannot keep going up and down those stairs, especially if you're a twin mum. Let me tell you, I would get them changed and ready for the day in their bedroom, and then we'd go downstairs, sit down, and before I knew it, one of them had had a blowout or been sick or something had happened, and I'd be like, Aled, please can you run up and get another change of outfits, another change of clothes, or another burp cloth, or another diaper. So have a full-on changing station downstairs. Maybe have 2 areas in your house where laundry can pile up. Have 2 of everything. Have snacks for 2 places that you may nurse them, water, everything that you have in one area of your house, have in another area. Because even if you're on one level, actually, like for me, the boys' nursery is quite far from the playroom, and if I brought them home to this house in the newborn stage, I wouldn't have wanted to be going back and forth. So along with this, think about what else is going on in your household. You can't have help 24/7. I don't think anyone can, right? There is going to be times when it's just you, and I advise you to think about the logistics of where you'll put your babies. Do you have dogs or cats or any other animals? Do you have other children? Can you just place your baby or babies on the ground? This is before they're rolling, mind, and walk away and know that they are safe? Because I couldn't. I had the dog. He would have just been so excited to go up and sniff them and run around them and everything else. So if it's just you and them at home, maybe that's fine, but if not, you can't just lay them on the floor. So you need to think about where you're going to put them, and it's a long time that they are just lying, you know. So obviously if you're in their room, that's fine. You've got cribs or bassinets and things like that, but we had things that you could use. We used a pack and play with the bassinet style things downstairs a lot. We had 2 swing chairs, and then eventually we bought a playpen when they're a bit more mobile, but you could actually invest in getting that earlier and use that. So yeah, think about those things, especially with twins. There are moments that you need to take one somewhere else and leave the other one safe. So it's very important to think about where they're going to be put at those times. Okay, number 3, find ways to find yourself. So this is sort of a hard topic for me to talk about because I'm still working on it, but I think every mother goes through this in some way or another, and it's something that I've only just recently noticed, or should I say become quite upset about, because when you become a mum, you are just so excited. And for me anyway, I didn't think much past having the baby. I really didn't. I didn't imagine my life when they were 1, when they were 2, when they were 3. I imagined them being babies, and then I imagined them at school. And I didn't think about the 5 years in between, and that is a long time. So it's only just starting to sink in that this is my life now. Like, I haven't got anyone here to help me. I have the boys all day, every day, and that is my job and my life, and there's no break from that. So I need to find ways to remember who I was as well, because it has dawned on me that I will never freely go out without worrying about them, without worrying about who's going to take care of them, without listing everything that needs to be done for them. I miss being able to get up when my body wants to get up. I miss being able to have a cup of coffee and enjoying it in peace. All these things, people sort of warn you, but I don't think it really hits home until you're in that position. You know, even just having a shower, all the things without having a timer that you have an hour while they nap, and then you have to do all this pile of other things again, or the dog is staring at you while they're napping because he hasn't been out for a walk or to play ball. It's just like constant. There's always something that needs doing, and it gets so tiring. So with that, my time is just given all to them. So I have given up exercising, I have given up reading, I've given up my appearance basically. I hardly ever bother to put makeup on or even get dressed. Like this, I'm just wearing like tracksuit bottoms and a hoodie. I have put makeup on today purely because of this video, but most of the times I will just be like a bum around the house. And it kind of becomes very depressing in a way. Like you just feel that you've lost yourself and you miss yourself. And it's not that I want that old person back, but I need to invent a new me. I need to find the new me, basically. How am I going to be as a mum? So I've tried various new routines, as you may have seen in some of my videos. I started trying to exercise like 3 or 4 times during this year, and each time I found that it's just been another extra thing that I cannot seem to achieve, and then laundry starts piling up and things get on top of me, and then I just get drained again. I've tried taking their nap time to do a bit of reading, but again, the same sort of thing. So I'm still trying to figure this out. Most of my new routines have lasted like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm like, I just need to do other things in the time that they're napping. So we're gonna get there. I'm still in the process of working it out, as I said, but it's really important, and you are a person outside of your children, and even though they take up so much of your time and that is your main priority, you need to find balance. So yeah, if anyone else has tips on this, let me know. But I think I am getting a little bit better, and what I would say is try and compartmentalize your life and know that that time of day you need to look after your kids, or this time of day you need to have a date night with your husband or spouse or partner, and this time of the day you need to fit in a bit of exercise, and eventually it will become a new way of life for you and you will find the right balance. But I'm still trying to figure that out, okay? So don't judge me. This is just my advice of what I think I need to do as well. Okay, so next we're going to talk about top tips that have helped me during this first year with the boys, basically. So the first one is get a schedule. Now, not everybody says this. A lot of people aren't really drawn to having a schedule. They like flexibility. They want their children to kind of adapt to what their needs are. And let me tell you, I was like that before we had the boys. Me and Natalie were like, why do people stop their lives for their kids? They should just make them do things, make them go to dinner with them, make them do this. I will do my utmost to keep their schedule and get them to bed on the times that they need to sleep, because otherwise I'm going to cause myself hell. And then no dinner is going to be enjoyable, you know? So that is my personal preference. And time for yourself only gets less and less, which I am shocked by, guys. I thought when I had a baby, that first 6 months was going to be the hardest time, and then it only got better. But was I wrong? It's getting harder. The more mobile they become, it is getting harder. So I know now, I know this ain't getting easier. So I need to adapt, because they're always ahead of me. So yeah, that's number one. I'm keeping to my schedule and my routine, and there's nothing stopping that. I do occasionally change, you know, if we decide to do something for the day and it means they skip a nap, I'm happy to do that. But day to day, I try and keep it the same for them. So number two, if you're having twins, I advise that you tandem feed or try to feed them together, because it took me a good 5 weeks, I think, to even attempt it, but it was taking forever to feed them, like half an hour each boy. I mean, how many times a day? Like 5? You're talking 5 hours there already before doing anything else. It was just too time consuming. So yeah, eventually I tandem fed, and wow, was I pleased. So just, you know, maybe prepare for it, and if it doesn't end up working, it doesn't, but at least try and have the option there. Make sure you have somewhere else to feed other than a nursing chair, because they're not wide enough to hold 2 babies at the same time. And just, yeah, give it a go. I was scared, but I do not regret it one bit. And you'd save so much time. And to be honest, as the boys got older, they kind of understood what I was doing, and they would be fighting for the milk. So if they saw one was eating, it was like baby meltdown from the other one. So yeah, tandem feeding was a lifesaver for me. So number 3 would be some sort of grocery delivery or curbside pickup or meal subscription or something like that, because you don't have time to cook. I mean, we still struggle. Me and Aled both are so tired by 7 when the boys are down that we're both just looking at each other like, please say that you want to cook tonight. And we have so many evenings where neither of us want to, and we end up having like beans on toast or eggs on toast because we just haven't got any energy left. But we did sign up for Home Chef. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of that, and you know, other meal subscriptions like HelloFresh, and there's so many now, there's so many, but we were really happy with Home Chef. We've kept it going, we've been doing it for a year, and we get like 2 or 3 meals a week just for dinner, depending on what the options are, and if we feel like we're not doing too many things, and we won't waste them. We never waste them, which is one good thing. And yeah, they're so quick and easy to make. There's even some that you just slap everything in like a tray and put it in the oven, done. There's not even any chopping involved. So convenient. So I would definitely suggest that. I don't know why I haven't got into curbside pickup and stuff like that for my groceries. Everyone's always telling me to do it, but I just love going in a supermarket. So we waste a lot of time doing that, but something me and Aled actually like to do, so we always go. Okay, number 4 is going to be, we touched base on this a little bit about finding your support people, but friends, other mums and play dates, and just keeping yourself busy. I would say from 7-8 months onwards, really when we got settled in this house. At first I didn't really want to do anything, but now I'm like trying to organise stuff all the time. I found like a rhythm of, I love to go out in the middle of the day with the boys, whether I'm meeting another mum for a play date, or we're all meeting in the park, or we go to the mall for a wander, just something. It's so good to get out and about and just have a chat to other mums and see what they're going through, and let your babies play and interact. It's so much fun, and really enjoying this part of motherhood. Like, I feel like I've met so many people. It's all through that app, Peanut, that I mentioned, and everyone's so friendly and so happy to meet other mums. It's been great. I'm so grateful for it. And yeah, I think it's so important, especially as a first-time mum, that you find some other people with babies the same age, and just people that you can relate to. So find a way, find some groups in your community or something, and just push yourself to go to them. I know you don't always feel like going out of the house. It's such a chore and effort, especially with 2 babies. It takes me like half an hour from getting them up to getting in the car and leaving the house. And sometimes I'm like, they're only up for 3 hours, and I just wasted half an hour of that. But when you get out, they love it, you love it. Very much worth it. And coming on to the last tip, that would be, actually hang on, I think I had one more thing to say about this. Yes, I want to touch base on the twin mum thing, because I've met one other girl who's sort of outside of the big group that I go to meet up, and she is a twin mum. Boys very much the same age as Jack and Henry, and other twin parents will be your lifeline. I've known a couple of other girls, but they're not like that local to me, and they're more Aled's friends that have twins, but they're like 3 or 4 now, and I feel like you just forget so much. So finding a twin mum with babies the same age will be a lifeline, because they're the only ones who can really truly understand what you're going through. You know, when you're having hard days or when you're finding something challenging, they will get it because they've been there or they're going through similar things. And it's just so helpful to have somebody to talk to, because no one else can get it, you know? No one's had 2 babies at once. And I'm sure it's the same when people are 3 or 4. Like, I cannot even begin to imagine. Like, no, they need other people that can support them that have experienced it. You know, it just feels so nice to have somebody that can relate to you in that exact way. So yeah, that was my tip on meeting friends and other mums and things like that. So yeah, coming on to the last tip. Don't be too strict on yourself for everything to be perfect, okay? The dishes can wait. I know this is like cliche. Everyone says that the dishes can wait, the laundry can wait, but it's so frustrating to see it building up. Like, I know, I get it. But when your baby gets ill, you suddenly get taken aback and you realize that everything can wait. You just want them to be healthy and happy. So don't tire yourself out trying to get every little thing done. Someone recently told me, a lovely follower on here, to just pick one thing a day to make your priority, and if you get that done, be happy and don't put pressure on yourself to get anything else done. And I'm trying to take her advice, because I never do that, and that just sounds like the perfect way to be honest, because there's a million jobs and you're never going to get them all done, and you're just going to stress yourself out trying. So take one job, get that done, and anything else you get done on top of that is a bonus, okay? And then when you're having a bad day, just sit with your bubba. One of mine is crying now. Henry's teething and he's got a fever, and it's going to be one of those days because Alan's not here. So pray for me, okay? But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Don't be so strict on yourself on the schedules either. I know a lot of twin mums especially don't want to leave the house because they don't want to mess up their schedule, and I know, I get that, but you have to for your own sake, and sometimes it's not as bad as you think it's going to be. So the babies also love getting out, I swear. Like, all my friends say that their babies love getting out, so just give it a go. Even if you just go for a short walk around your house, you know, you don't need to go really far in the car or anything like that. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this one. I hope you got some value out of it, and I will try and timestamp it. I hope I managed to do it. And yeah, if anyone's got any questions or other tips, please write them in the comments below, because it's so helpful for other mums and other expecting mums and things like that. And yeah, if you want me to talk about this in more detail, because I feel like I could just blab on and on about other topics, just list the topics in the comments and I'll do another video. So yeah, I hope you're all having a good week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.